And before we start, I just wanted to remind you that we will keep getting questions from the audience as well. So, we, as and when they come up, I'll bung that question in.
Sure.
And this is for the audience, folks. Please keep typing your questions in, and we'll pick them up, and we'll have Snehal answer them. So Snehal, first and foremost, my question is, what was the inspiration behind setting up this platform, especially about bringing, this is a platform that brings in love and light into people's lives, right? So, what inspired you to start this journey?
So, Genesis was a problem that my sister was facing when she was looking for a suitable match, and we almost got scammed uh, on one of the leading matrimonial website. The guy said he lives in Dubai and India, keeps shuttling between. And this is 2011 or 12. I was in my final year of college, and he said he's a international businessman, runs a company for chartering helicopters in India, had the website and everything. Then he booked our stay. He said, "Ki, okay, this Christmas come to Dubai with your family and meet my family," and sent us booking details for Burj Al Arab, uh, which is when for us we were very lower middle class back then, and it was like something that it's a allegedly a 7-star hotel, right? And then he said, "Ki transfer me 25,000 rupees for booking your flight tickets." And I was like, if somebody is booking such an expensive hotel, why would he ask for 25,000 rupees for booking flight tickets? And then luckily, because the entrepreneurship bug had already bitten me till then, and I was thinking of incorporating a company, and I was actually researching how to incorporate a company. So I knew that to decide on a company name, I will have to first check whether this company exists or not. So MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, used to have a portal, MCA 21 something something. There you can go and see if this company already exists, or you can have that name. So when I just saw the name of the company on their website and went on the portal and checked, the company did not exist, right? So that was the flag. So I thought, see, this is a very big problem. There has been no disruption in the industry for over a decade. So I thought, can we somehow quantify trust in this, right? And then we saw this change happening, that more and more parents want that you find your partner on your own, right? And it was just starting back then. Today, 12, 13, 14 years later, things have evolved so much that back then 24, 25 used to be the right age to marry. Today 30, 32 people are chill, right? So that was the genesis, that can we somehow quantify trust, right? And that gave birth to one of our key feature called trust score, where we try to quantify trust from 0 to 100 by, you can link your Aadhaar, passport, driving license like national IDs, and you get 30% score. You can do a selfie verification where we run a facial recognition scan on your face and ensure all the photos are of the same face, right? So that gives you 30%. And then you can link your socials, phone number, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. And we have a special tie-up with Cred. If you're a Cred member, that means your KYC is already done on Cred, and your civil score is also nice. So if you link your credit account with your Truly Madly account, you get 100% trust score, right?
Wow.
So that was the genesis. That was the problem we were trying to solve. Then everything else got built on top of it.
How interesting, that there's something deeply personal that inspired you to set this up. Uh, that very, very interesting, start to your journey. And of course, the next question is the name Truly Madly itself. How did you come by that name?
Yeah, so two things. One is we were always thinking ki, we want to have a name that will allow us to go global also, because even at day zero we wanted to start with India, but we knew that someday we'll go global, right? So one was that. Secondly, we wanted that name should signify in a way that what we do, right? And third is in the cafe that we were discussing, in a cafe of Gurgaon, we were discussing all this. This song by Savage Garden, Truly Madly Deeply, was playing in the background. And I think all of us were also fans of Savage Garden and their songs. So it was a no-brainer for us that, let's see if this name is
Nice.
available. It was not available for free, but nothing was on that domain. So we bought the domain at premium, and then we started our journey. And now people actually call us TM. If you go on Play Store or App Store and search TM, our app will come, because that's the name that people have given us, TM.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
And
why you will see I am always wearing this.
I can see that, that's good branding, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, my next question is, we spoke about trust, and that's how actually the inspiration for this idea started. So, I have a question on social networking itself, and then coming to the trust factor. And we have a question more or less similar to what I had from one of the people who are watching right now.
Mm.
Um, how have you seen, because you this model has evolved over years. Social networking itself was fairly new,
Mm.
perhaps a decade back. Uh,
Mm.
and then now there are many ways of social networking, including through yours, through Truly Madly.
Mm.
So how do you see the world of social networking in India changing over the past few years? Have you seen some new trends? Have you seen it dramatically change, or at the core is it still the same? So
No,
your
it has changed drastically. So when we first started using social networks, it was late 2000s, right? 2008, 9, 10, probably 6. And the only social network was Orkut. Then came Facebook in 2009, right? Back then, people were afraid of uploading their photo as a DP,
Hmm.
right? Today you open Instagram, what is not there, right? So just we can have the comparison how uh, I think it also has to do with how India has started trusting internet, right? Back in the day, 2011, when e-commerce companies were starting, uh, they had to resort to COD because there was no trust on the internet. In
Right.
fact, I remember one of the early days ad of Flipkart, where some of you may remember the kids wala ad, that
Yes.
kids will play as adults, and one of the ad was that uh, फोटो देख के प्रोडक्ट कैसे मंगा लूं, अंकल ऑफ द किड अंकल ऑफ द फैमिली वाज हाउ डू आई ऑर्डर समथिंग बाय जस्ट लुकिंग एट द फोटो, एंड द मदर कम्स एंड सेज आपसे शादी भी तो फोटो देख के ही हुआ था, मतलब गॉट मैरिड आल्सो बाय जस्ट लुकिंग एट अ फोटो, राइट? So trust on the internet, then Geo has played pivotal role. Cannot thank enough to Geo to you know what they did for India as a digital landscape. Everybody, the content, access to media, everything got democratized.
Hmm.
Flow of ideas got democratized, because earlier there used to be one screen in the TV in the household, which was a TV, which was mostly the remote was controlled by mother in the during day watching daily soaps, and father at the night either watching propaganda news channels or watching sports,
True.
right? Then came Geo and smartphones, and everybody got access to their own screen. Everybody is watching the same content, whether you are living in Darbhanga or in South Bombay. All are watching Mirzapur, all are watching Netflix, right? And the flow of ideas just starting, just got democratized, right? So all of that, I think, played a very pivotal role for trust of India on the internet, then e-commerce transactions and everything, and then of course all of this behavior uh, accumulated into the usage of social media. Social media is nothing but connecting with each other, right? When you are spending so much time, if you are spending time on in office, you will connect with people there, but then it's a finite set of people. If you're spending time on playground, you will connect with people there. When you're spending all of your time on screen, that is where you will connect with people, right? Sadly, one thing has happened, that we have probably gone a bit too far, not just as a country, as a whole world, that social media is no longer personal, right? It is not a graph of my connections anymore. It is just creators and feed and algorithm driven, and everybody everywhere is just trying to sell us stuff, right? Every creator is trying to sell you something. After every two posts, there is an ad trying to sell you something, right? So I think we have gone a bit ahead, and there some reversal is overdue, right? Where we would again want to just connect with people. Even WhatsApp has become so cluttered right now, right? I have to maintain two phones because one number is with everybody, one number is only with my family and my team, right? And I only regularly look at one phone, other phone I look at, 1 hour, 2 hour intervals.
Mhm.
So because it's just too much flux, everybody is trying to. There is so much spam. There is so much email. We all know has become so spammy. So I think that everything has we have gone a bit overboard. Uh, I think next viral social network will be where I'm just connecting with my. I remember old days when high five came. The primary use case used to be connecting with my classmates who I had gone to school with.
Correct.
Facebook may now today I may be connected with them, but I am not even opening Facebook anymore. Right? On Instagram, everything is algorithm and feed driven and is mm, optimized to sell you something or the other
Hmm.
versus actually connect you with the people. So we are in a way losing touch with actual people around us and are just getting jealous by seeing that influencer did that and all of that. So I think that kind of reversal is avoided, and I
You
really
know,
hope something comes
very,
for.
very interesting. And two very interesting points that you made on changing trends over the past few years is one is, from a time when we were hesitant to even put out our pictures as DPs to now putting everything out,
Yeah.
on Instagram, right? The second is there are no more, it's no more a personal network. It's just, you're
Yeah.
aggregating people, at one level. Secondly, it's
Yeah.
become a creators economy and so on. I think both very interesting points.
LinkedIn, everybody has 10,000. Nobody ever I have sent ki, hey, do you know this person? No. What is the point? Right? So
Very true. I'm going to move to another question and we'll chat more about trust because there are some interesting questions coming in from viewers. But what I want to ask you is, how are attitudes different towards dating, between, let's say, metros, the Delhi, Bombay, Kolkata, Chennai, and the smaller towns, the tier one, tier two towns? Do you see a difference?
so see, I believe even Delhi has tier one, tier two, tier three, right? And even say Dharbanga has tier one, tier two, tier three, right? Delhi is such a large population, right? Not everybody there is tier one. So let's not do this by city. Let's just say tier one, tier two, tier three. I see that tier one is the population which is, for a lack of better word, more impatient is not the right word, but unstable, you can say, in the sense
Uh,
that they don't know what they want.
mhm.
There is so much of cognitive load, that there is a fatigue of choice, right? Tier 2, tier 3, on the other hand, when I look at their love stories that keep coming to us, that hey, yeah, we are getting married, we met, they are such old school Bollywood love stories, right? That so a lot of our success stories from tier 2 and tier 3 actually originate as a long distance relationship, right? That girl is from Banaras, guy is from Lucknow, girl is from Indore, guy is from Bhopal, girl is from Guwahati, guy is from Kolkata, 200, 300 kilometers apart, right? That, but that's a lot of difference, right?
Right.
If you ask a South Bombay girl to date a Malad guy, she'll like, why would I go north, right? So that's a little messed up also, because if you are trying to find a compatible life partner, why would you want to uh, limit yourself by a radius? Your most compatible match could be anywhere.
True.
So, and more instant gratification is tier one phenomenon. Tier two, tier three are, I feel, very sorted that ways.
Mm.
Uh, guy and girl will chat on WhatsApp for days, then probably have a video call. And video call is also post 2020 phenomenon. Usse pehle to, before that, it was always just chat and phone. And then after 2, 3 weeks of talking, guy would hop on a train, go to the girl's city, and finally meet her, right? And the the fun in that effort. Let's see, I always say dating as well as marriage is a game of effort and patience, right? If you get too much addicted to instant gratification, very low chance that you will succeed there,
Sure.
right? So that's what I feel. It's just too much instant gratification, too much choices. So that's where something tier one and tier two behavior varies drastically. In fact, I always say this, that we are not building for the top 5 percentile. We are building for the rest of the 95 percentile, because top 5 percentile is messed up. I cannot fix them,
Yeah.
right? They will have to do go on that journey on their own. But the rest of the 95 percentile, they are much more sorted. They are much more aware of what they, about their expectations also. They don't have out of the world expectations, and want that, I want this and that and only that and only this. So and I have seen that even the couples, tier 2, tier 3 couples, I have seen much more happy and content. I think the degree of content, right? It is very different in tier 1 and tier 3.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're happy with even less, and tier 1 is not happy with even everything.
That's very interesting. And I wanted to pick on one point that you made. You said many of the love stories that come to you, and I'm
Mm.
guessing you meant for Truly Madly as a platform, are people in different cities, right? Most people assume that you might find, true love or your partner, next door or within the same city, but you have stories of these. So the question is, what is the role you think Truly Madly has played in changing these, this traditional thinking of finding the partner right there, and actually finding them, 200 kilometers away
See,
and
I don't
putting
think
them
we have
together.
changed anything. I would not want to claim we have changed anything. I believe India has always aspired to do a love marriage, right? We are just providing them a platform which increases the probability for the same, because you are so busy in your life, even in tier 2 and tier 3, right? And very limited network outside of work. If you didn't find anybody in your college, right, or your school or your coaching, and then you are connect, most of the day you are spending with that 20-30 people in your workspace, right? If you want to find new people, meet them, uh, see how you vibe with them, where do you even go? India, mein, you cannot go in a bar and do something, right? We do not have time or network outside of work. So we just wanted to create a platform where we curate the
Hmm.
pool of users who have the same intention of finding something serious,
Okay.
right? So start your love story is our tagline, right? So we attract only those kind of people. All our marketing and ads speak this about compatibility, find compatible people who share your values. We talk about trust score and starting your love story, right? So we attract those people. Even from them, we reject more than 42% of profiles who apply to become a member. We face a lot of heat in the reviews, etc. But that's the call we have taken. That doesn't matter, right? We want to keep our community coherent or homogeneous, right? And then once we have that community on the platform, we just provide them with tools to interact with each other. That's all we do, right? I would not want to claim that we changed any behavior or anything. People always wanted to connect with homogeneous people who think like them. Like-minded is what tier 2 and tier 3 uses for the
And
word
you created the
compatibility.
platform for that.
Yeah, we just created a platform for that, and then they are coming and using it.
Yeah. You were just talking about love marriages a few minutes back.
Yeah,
I remember when we met about 10, 12 days back, you made a very interesting point that, in India, love marriages have always been there, right?
yeah,
For decades. They've come to be accepted, right? On the other hand, the word dating is still an expression itself,
yeah.
which is
The taboo.
taboo, to a large section of society. And obviously,
Yeah,
there are a lot of people it's okay with, but I'm talking about the large section of society, it's still taboo.
yeah,
So this is a contradiction in itself.
yeah,
I want you to tell us more about this contradiction that on one hand, love marriages have always been accepted,
yeah,
while dating, which is a similar thing, is frowned upon.
exactly. So, in fact, so imagine starting this decade ago, we had so much of internal heated debates whether to call ourselves a dating platform or a new age matrimony platform, right? But we thought let's ride the wave, which is we know going to grow. It is not if, it is just when, right? Today we are, as you also said, now a large part is accepting. Back then, even we had to write to Facebook and get a written permission to even start an ad for dating, right? So uh, a lot has changed again because how ideas are flowing much faster than ever, right? A lot has changed in the last 5 years also. But for some reason, people have always associated dating as a taboo and love marriages are aspirational. But somebody will have to come and teach them there is no way to do a love marriage without dating, right? And that's what we are trying to do, right? That dating is the only path to go to love. In fact, a funny incident, I was meeting one investor once, and he was a Jain, right? And he had some principles of investment which aligned with his Jain philosophy. He said, "यार, I am liking your numbers and everything, but थोड़ा sin type feeling आ रहा है." I asked him, कि, "Did you do a love marriage or a arranged marriage?" He very proudly said, "Love marriage." Then I said, "Sir, date तो आपने भी किया, you have also dated." He said, "No, when have I dated?" I said, "When before getting married, when you were in your courtship, what were you calling it then?" He said, "Okay." So most people they have this just it's just a societal phenomena, right?
Hmm.
And in some ways, dating app is not very different from Samvar, right? Where and dating apps are largely driven by women actions, right? So it is in a way similar that there is a line of guys and the girl is going ki, on whom would I put this mala. So it's I think just awareness thing, and that's what we are working on.
Still, you spoke about reviews. You talked about facing heat on reviews, but you took a call that that you will follow a certain path. I have a couple of questions on this, and I think one or two of them have come from our viewers as well.
Mm.
Firstly, I think that's a very strong call that you took, right?
Yeah,
Irrespective of the reviews, but the rejection rate, you spoke about a 42% rejection rate.
yeah.
And clearly that was a strong call that you want to follow some principles. One question, and there are two around that. One question is, we'd love to know on how to handle negative reviews and maintain good stars, as in, the ratings again, a 5 star or a 4.5 star rating.
Yeah, so sadly, especially in our industry and mostly all industries, see reviews, nobody ever thinks of writing a positive review when they like something, right? अरे बहुत मजा आया जाके इनको मैं 5 स्टार रिव्यू देता हूँ, right? Nobody ever goes and do the 5 star review. Everybody every time wants to vent out and do a
Complain.
of spite, give you a 1 star rating if they had even a minor inconvenience, right? And in our case it is even further fueled by our rejections. Then see, we are not a service provider, we are a collaborator in some sense with you, that ultimately other person have to like your profile. We can only show you to a few people, but if your profile is bad, you will not get a like. Nothing we can do about it. And if, say, for example, the girl does not like a profile, she will not like, right? But today most of the users have that सर्विस मेंटेलिटी की यार अमेजोन पे ऑर्डर किया है तो प्रोडक्ट आएगा, राइट? सो नथिंग यू कैन डू अबाउट इट, राइट? You can just make sure that you are doing everything that you can do best for the product and your users who are good users, and rest, if anybody reaches out, we try to resolve them. Otherwise, we have seen that the I think even people have become very uh, you know agnostic of the ratings and everything now, because everybody knows that either if it is good, we will think, yeah, they would have bought the ratings,
Hmm.
right? If it is bad, then anyway, they would think, okay, uh, probably some. So we have observed that it does not really change, especially for us being a 10-year-old brand now, right?
Hmm.
It does not matter that much. We have, for example, on Apple, we have rating of 4 and above, because better crowd, less rejections. On Android, our rating is around 3.5, 3.6. But we don't see much difference in our conversions or click to install and install to registrations, right?
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, that is something we have to live with. Uh, and we try as much as we can, but at the scale that we have, it is very difficult to, manage it very effectively with everybody, because
Mhm.
every day tens of thousands of new users are joining, then old users are coming, and all of that. So we live with it, and we have also seen that it doesn't really matter anymore.
That's interesting. I think what you're saying is, in general, for ratings, there's a lot of cynicism. So
Yeah,
if it's very positive, they're saying probably these were bought,
yeah,
right? If they're negative, you may think, okay, it's a disgruntled consumer, and
yeah.
maybe it's
And
competition.
the type of consumer who really cares for the rating, now then they go and read. They will
Correct.
not just go by the stars. They will go and read the 1 star reviews.
Hmm.
And then if a person is reading, na, they will get to know ki, "Arey, disgruntled person." Any logical person would be able to figure ki, okay, we can discount that. And for example, why I do not trust good ratings, go on any app other than Truly Madly and click on their 5 star reviews, and aha, other than aha also, I would say, and see how many repeated 5 star reviews we will see. Same copy pasted reviews, right? Because everybody is buying, right? And we also took a very, because we are also in fight with Google and Apple for so many things. So we very early on decided we do not want to get into that. Uh,
Right.
in the in buying rate, Amazon, every rating, good rating that you see is a barter collaboration with some person where they refund the money for what you had bought, and you just give a good rating. So there is no trust left. Verified purchaser is also no longer a right signal for that. So that's why I think they have already lost a lot of relevance. With time, I think it will completely lose all relevance.
Sure. I have a question again. I'm picking up a few questions from our viewers. As a founder, what's the advice you would like to give to, to somebody else who receives a lot of criticism on social media for doing something which is not going with the trend? Perhaps you may have found yourself in the same
Get
space.
off social
As-
media.
Sorry?
Get off social media for that time, and put the blinders on. And if you know that what you are doing is correct from the long term perspective,
Hmm.
while knowing short term may you may face some hit, put the blinders on. Nobody has attention span anymore. So they anyway will forget it by the next day.
And switching to Bharat again, one question that I have here from a viewer is, what are the metrics that matter most when you're building a Bharat first social app? And
So
we spoke
for
about the fact that, you're talking to a tier one to tier three, tier four, not just within cities. I mean,
yeah,
not just across cities, but within cities. Within Delhi,
yeah.
you could have four,
So
so on. So,
Bharat. So how I define first India versus Bharat is, so in the top 30 cities of India, guess what is the population that lives? Top 30 cities, probably me and you cannot even write down, right? Top 30 cities of India, guess the population percentage.
percentage, what about 30%?
10%. Out of that, 4% is living in slums, right? So only 6% is India.
The
Rest
rest
is
is Bharat.
Bharat,
Hmm.
right? And let's not go double click on that 6% also. As I said, not everybody who is living in top 30 cities and not living in slums also is all tier one, right?
Yes.
That's when I say ki top 3 percentile we are not building for, right? So when you are building for Bharat, one you have to one metric that early on I was very keen on, because see, as a dating app, our onboarding process is long, right? We ask you 13, 14 questions. It takes you 2, 3 minutes to fill everything. So completion rate. So I designed our onboarding in a way that you can complete your onboarding while walking with one hand within 90 seconds. That was my goal, right? And this helped us increase our completion rate, which used to be 60-65%. Now it is 93%, right? So one, ease of use, you can find your own metric for that. For us, it was that can we, this completion percentage, if it increases, then I think user is finding our app easy to use,
Hmm.
not just UX wise, but also based on different device types and networks,
Hmm.
and patchy networks in some places, right? So one should be that what is that KPI for that. And then being a social app, uh, there can be two ways. One is monetization, other is retention.
Hmm.
You have to pick one and go deep in that. If it is a pure social app, for example, Truly Madly, I would say it's not a pure social app, right? We are like, you are coming for a use case, not just to socialize,
Hmm.
right? So we are a monetization first app. So for us, KPI always remains paying percentage and revenue. For if I were building a social app like say Instagram or Facebook, the metrics would have been uh, retention and engagement. So
Hmm.
there is this toothbrush test by founder of Google, which says ki if is it a use case which will be used twice a day, right? Like a toothbrush, will people want to use it twice a day? So if it is a good social app, people would want to use it more than that, right? Then they would want to another. So there is this uh, metric from, I don't know if it is from Greylock Partners or something, from the Valley, where they and you can go on the Google and search for it. You can use the words only metric that matters. Now with visual slides, you if you type this on Google, you will find it. It's a bit complicated, but it helps you find a number n. And n, for example, for Twitter was if a person is following 7 people on Twitter, and this is early days, 7 people on Twitter in the first week, then this person is my power user and they will retain for long. If I am adding 4 friends on the first day on Facebook, that n is 4 friends for them. If I am doing that, this person will become a power user and he will stay for long, right? So if you find your n, that is 4, and then you see how many are at 1 and 2 and 3, and then you work on pushing from the ones to 2,
2 to 3
right?
and
And that's all you have to do. Once you are able to successfully push from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4 will already happen automatically. And Amazon internally calls this framework 1 to 2, right? Ki people who have only given us single order in their life, how do we convert them into a second order? 1 to 2. Then everything else is a second order effect, right? So you need to find that but thing equivalent to your own product and work
Hmm.
on.
Okay, that's I think very interesting, and hopefully the person who asked this question has found it equally useful. Thanks so much, Snehal. And uh, you know, one question which I had is on trust. Uh, See, how do you this is and you briefly touched upon it that you have many parameters and you're sifting out people, and there's a 42% rejection rate, and I get it. So yours is a social networking app which is building a one-to-one relationship between people.
Yeah,
Right? Now, there the trust factor, in at least in my view, is doubly or triply important,
yeah,
as opposed to a social networking app like a Facebook, for example,
yeah,
where you're connecting with friends in general or
yeah.
people. So how is Truly Madly building that trust factor, especially given that yours is a one-on-one relationship and social networking app as opposed to the others, which are many to many, one to many.
Yeah. So that's where the trust score comes in, which we talked about in the beginning, right? So when we advertise this feature, and then when people see that there is a trust score on every profile, right? So one, it instills a trust in the users that the use case that I have come for
Hmm.
aligns with the product, right? For example, today you will see a lot of matrimonial websites also try to, do ads and attract you self-using users that, hey, find a partner on your own. But when you go on their product, first question is caste, gotra, and family wealth, right? So that's where the misalignment with product happens, right? So we ensure that the messaging that we are putting out there to attract and acquire users is very much coherent with our product. So first screen you come on the app, with the right above the login phone with phone number button, you will see a few of our couples who got married via Trudy Madly, along with their names and the year they met. Every time you will come on the platform, it will change, right? Because we have a lot of stories, we keep shuffling them, right? Then when you are doing the onboarding, you will see the kind of questions that we are asking. Then when you are coming on to seeing even before seeing the first profile, when you are uploading a photo, for a lot of reasons, we will reject your photo, right? That also in a way instills trust in the user ki, okay, they are doing it for the right user. For the wrong user, I anyway don't want, right? So 42% I'm rejecting, one more I don't care, right? But for the right user, they will understand ki, okay, this is being done for us. Because otherwise on other dating apps, you go through 5 6 profiles, then you will see a photo of a cat or a dog or a sunflower, good morning wallpaper, everything, right? Then when you come on the profile, you are seeing a real photo with a trust score, whatever it is, either it is 10% or 70%, whatever. We will show you, yeah, this is the trust score of this person. And then you will see the compatibility, right? And now we have astro compatibility also, right? So you, if you believe in astro compatibility, you check that. If you believe in personality compatibility, you check that, and or you can check both, right? Then you will find more question and answers that you both can answer to know more about each other, right? So the product, if aligns with the vision that you are selling in the ad,
Mhm.
that makes trust.
Sure. No, thank you so much. That was very deep and detailed. I'm going to try and take two more questions before we wrap up. One is on your marketing efforts, Snehal. How does Truly Madly reach out to audiences across Bharat, uh, you know, and in a way that they obviously trust you, and trust we spoke about, but actually come onto your platform to engage?
Yeah, so marketing, usual channels, meta ads, influencer marketing. We do a lot of UGC content. We do a lot
Mhm.
of influencer, and even we keep doing with A-listers. Recently, we did with AHA also. I think our episode, first integration that we did will should go live this Saturday, right? So we keep finding new channels also, right? That's
Okay,
what I talked to you also when we connected, right? That okay, right now these are the channels, but we always are on the lookout of the new channels,
that's
right?
right.
So wherever we can see, so we have, for example, our partnership with Cred, we have a
Mm.
partnership with AstroTalk for the Astro compatibility,
Okay.
right? So all of these partnerships from the ecosystem, as well as uh, the usual channels of in Meta, Google, etc., and organic, and then a word of mouth. We have been a old brand now. We have gotten a lot of people love of their life. So some word of mouth comes from there, right? So all of that is where we our users discover us from.
Awesome. And I'm going to squeeze in one last question, Snehal. Given that, this is a platform we've set up around startups, I'm sure a lot of people here would like to know, where are you in your journey in terms of, how did you raise your funds and where are you today? At what stage are you at?
Yeah, we are at day zero today, right? Because we still believe, see, India as a matchmaking penetration is still below 3%, right? So only way to go is up. We are still scratching the surface. Game is just getting started now, is what we believe, right? India has changed so drastically in terms of fundraising, etc. In the last 5 years, we did our last round 3 years ago,
Mhm.
uh, and in total we have raised around 5 million over 3 rounds, 2020, 21, and 22. Then the amount that we raised in 22, half of it is still lying in the bank because we became cash flow positive. And we are growing nicely. We have grown 4x in last 12 months in our revenue. And hopefully this will continue like this while maintaining profitability and cash flow positivity. So that's where we are at a stage of default alive, as well as not dependent on any external capital. And this is what, thanks to funding winter, we would not have, otherwise we would not have achieved it or even wanted it,
Sure.
right? Because funding was a like a cocaine, right? It keeps coming, you are enjoying it, right?
Correct.
Then when you start working on the fundamentals, right? Earlier, if you are burning in crores a month, 10, 20 lakh, etc., I would not even used to care. Today, when we are positive, every 50,000 rupees that goes out of bank, I'm like, why is it going? Right? what could have been done to, save it. So DNA changes with time, right? And stage. And I would also acknowledge that right now, and this is I'm trying to fix now, I have become too restrictive, right? Because there has to be a balance.
Right.
Do not, I have started loving the number of how much cash we are generating every month, right? But I am also asking myself, will it result in not investing the money in the, will I make a wrong choice of, see, what will I do with the money sitting in the bank, right?
Right.
That treasury will only grow at 6-7%, but some ideas that we can invest in will give us 2x, 3x, 4x kind of return, while knowing that 9 out of 10 ideas will fail, right? So now I am in my journey of returning to that. Yeah, okay, it is okay to, experiment and burn, but I am very grateful that I learned that, and I was able to absorb that in my DNA over the last 1.5 to 3 years. And today, whether we raise funds or not, our growth will continue. In fact, we have been very, strongly debating and thinking, should we raise or should we not raise? What are the pros and cons, right? Because today, if you see, funding is such a, as they say, shadi ka laddu, right? It's a very same thing. The person who does not have it want it. The person who has it knows the problems associated with it,
Right.
right? Every big founder I meet today, they are always talking about a investor this, investor that, because they hold their lifeline, right?
Very true.
And when I see that I am at a very chill place, while I have raised money, I have not raised any large check from any large institution. We have raised 5 million, mostly all from HNI and angels, other than Bloom Ventures, which is a very nice, sweet fund, right? So luck, we have gotten lucky that way. I did not engineer it, right? Universe was kind, so we got lucky that ways. That all of our, and we have been through some really bad times. That just 1.5 year ago, uh, 1.5 year ago, we were staring at death with just 6 months of runway left,
Oh,
right? And we decided ki okay, let's first action, let's reduce the burn to zero. Our revenue halved, but we became zero burn company. Had to take a lot of very difficult calls for cost cutting, team structuring, etc. Right? Uh, but took that, reached cash flow positivity, break even, not even positivity. Stayed there for 6 months at zero burn, and then started growing. And today we are, touchwood, doing good. Since then, we have 4xed our revenue while maintaining cash flow positivity, and now we are generating cash. We are adding money in the bank, right?
that's awesome. I mean, this is interesting. You mentioned in the last 5 minutes that, for people who have funding, that's like cocaine, right?
Yeah,
But I think in the same breath, you mentioned that now the profitability and the money that is coming into the bank every other day for you is also becoming addictive.
yeah.
And now you're chasing that. And, I have, one of our viewers who's, I think says that it's good to see founders, who are chasing profitability rather than more funding and burn.
Yeah.
Right. And I think this has been truly inspirational. Snehal, thank you ever so much for, making the time
My
uh,
pleasure.
to, join me for this session. And, I personally found it really engaging, and there are so many interesting things that you said. I promise when I'm in Delhi next, I'll come by and we'll have coffee again together.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
And ladies and gentlemen, this was Snehal Khanor of Truly Madly. I hope you've enjoyed listening to him and the insights he's had in how he's built not just Truly Madly, but a lot of trust pan India among his customers. And I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Snehal, thanks once again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining this session. We end here.
Thank you everybody for joining.